Hello, welcome to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today we are talking once again about the Tokyo Marui AKM GBBR, and I actually had a delivery of something today. I've got another thing waiting, but one of the things that I've been waiting for actually arrived, and it was, and anyone that's got this gun will probably have had a look and seen this because there's quite a few places have it, but it's whether you actually want to buy it or not. Well, this is the Bowmaster 130% recoil spring set. So maybe I see it on there, it will probably just blow out. So what do you get in the set? Well, it replaces a couple of the original parts with steel, and you also get a thicker grade steel spring as well. So I do have it installed. I have shot it a few times, and basically anyone that's used one will know that as you pull the charging handle back, then it's quite slow to return, and that results in sort of a slower rate of fire. And I know a few people were sort of concerned and said that's it's a little bit too slow. I think it's quite realistic originally to what the AK is, but this certainly bumps up the rate of fire a little bit. So we'll look at that in a moment, but we'll just talk about what you get with the kit. So this piece on the end is a direct replacement for the plastic Tokyo Marui original part, and there is also a plastic end piece which goes on here, and that has also been replaced with steel, which is great to see. So hopefully this should last well. In order to install everything, I did have to punch this small pin at the back out. Very simple. I didn't even have to push it all the way out. It just releases one of these rods, and then this one actually splits at the end, and it's all held in together by this end piece. So that's where it kind of all comes apart. So I just wanted to add that you don't actually need to do what I did and punch this pin out at the back in order to fit this kit. I didn't realise that when you basically take this part off the end, it does actually separate, and it means that you can do all of the installation here, and basically this piece here actually slides halfway down before it can pop out. So I didn't need to knock that out. You shouldn't need to. You should be able to do it all from this end. Anyway, let's continue on. So yeah, the grade of spring is when you compare it directly, you can see that the actual gauge is thicker. So yeah, you do get quite a bit more with this. I've got to say, it doesn't feel like 130%, it feels like more. It's like if you've ever put like 150% recoil spring in a Glock or in a high cap or something like that, you'll know how you're like, ooh, is that going to break it? That's kind of how it feels on this. You're like, ooh, is that going to break? I'm leaning towards no, it probably won't. With this installed, I'll turn it this way, you can see the movement on the charging handle. Or not. It's fast. Like, that bolt return is now snappy. Very snappy. So I've already fired off. This is a little bit of a cold mag, so it's not the perfect representation of what it will be doing, but so, and if I flick it onto full auto, the front sight on this is just all over the shop. It's just like bouncing around everywhere. It's really fun. Yeah, like, that's really nice. It feels like, kind of feels a little bit like it's going to break, but that's where I like my guns, right on the edge. So I cannot wait for the heavy recoil piston to arrive, so I can put it in this and play with like the heavier spring and the heavier recoil. That's going to be really fun. Obviously, to maximise the recoil, I would actually want to put this spring back in, so there's less resistance on the force of it pushing back, and there'll be more weight behind it. That would be my like max recoil setup. But like other people, I was also a little bit disappointed with how sluggish the return was on the actual bolt. This completely fixes it. Brilliant. What? Yeah, it's not complicated. It's not it's not a sophisticated part that they built. It's just an increased spring. But at least I'm really pleased to say that, yeah, they've replaced the 2 bits that I would have expected to break with steel. So, don't know what the quality of the steel is going to be like, but I should think it's probably going to be okay. However, obviously, like, updates to come, and you know, when I get the new parts to put in here, I'll obviously do another video on that. I cannot wait for the heavy recoil buffer, honestly. I'm all about the recoil, so it's all about how much fun is each trigger pull. I can say that this, like, it hasn't really reduced the felt recoil, to be perfectly honest with you. I know the mag's a little bit cold, but actually, like, yeah, it's just, ooh. There you go. Something happened with the valve there, got a bit stuck. Just, if it does that, yeah, put it back in, do what I did. Put it back in, fire 1 shot, and what it'll do is it'll basically reset the valves in here. That's probably because I've shot quite a lot of mags with this before filming this video, so yeah, it's a little bit cold, it's a little bit frosty. So yeah, further updates to come on whether it actually damages the gun or not, but certainly as far as like shooting feel, it's just a snappier return and a higher rate of fire. So if that's what you're looking for something, I think it was only like £10 as well. It really wasn't anything expensive. So I didn't expect it to come with the end bits for that price, but I was pleased that it did, and I've used them. So yeah, further updates to come. So yeah, stay tuned. But until then, guys, take care.